Welcome to Planet Pluto Shoot.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Whoop, whoop. Tango, tango, tango. Hey, hey. What's happening, blacks? Or should I say Africans? Boy, are we excited this evening. When I tell you we're excited, we are excited. Welcome to our 78th. I think we're just cranking it on up. We're just moving it on up. Episode of Planet Pluto Pseudo. It is me, your homegirl LaDosha Wright, aka Key Lolo, and then right over there. Let me get my finger just right. Y'all know who it is, right? It's my PNC, my partner in cosmetology, the one and only Cheryl Morrow, aka the Hair Oracle. What's happening, Cheryl? How's it going?
We got a little break from the rain.
You got a little break from the rain? Okay, all right. If they say it never rains in Southern California, is that true?
It be trying. You know.
She said it'd be trying. Well, so we got some trying stuff happening here. So today we're going to be talking about the worldwide agenda for women, and we have my favorite person in the whole wide world. I call her my sister love friend. That's how we refer to each other. I call her the incomparable, the illustrious, the intelligent, the beautiful, the home girl, the Gambian, just with the beautiful smile, because it's known as the smiling coast, This is Fatou Saine Gaye, and she is the founder of the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy. And this podcast tonight is going to be extremely powerful for the women in the house. It is still March, officially Women's History Month, and we are celebrating women right here on Planet Pluto Pseudo. And in case you're wondering, where am I? What planet have I landed on? You have landed on Planet Pluto Pseudo. And so what do we do here with this particular podcast is it is affectionately for the licensed professional world of hair, skin, and nails, and our hair aficionados. So we have barbers, cosmetologists, we have natural hairstylists, estheticians, nail techs, and like I said, our hair care junkies. And so what we do here on this platform is we bust up all the lies, okay? And we found this a need to do because all of the myths and disinformation that has somehow made its way into our industry. And so with all due respect, and of course, responsible leadership, Cheryl and I, we just made it our business, didn't we, Cheryl? We're just going to call them on the carpet. If you lie, you out here being pseudo, you making up stuff, and you're poisoning our industry, interfering with the future, encroaching with all that bad stuff, then Cheryl and I are going to say, stop it. Shame. Remember that song? Shame, 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 shame. Woo! Shame on you. If you can't tell the truth. What's up, Confetti? Confetti, I'm in a doghouse with you, but I wants to get out. Confetti, let me out the doghouse. What's Pookie? What's going on, Pookie over there? Ain't nothing like a Pookie coming through your chat. What's going on, cousin? I see you over there on Instagram.
What's up, Pookie?
What's going on, Selena? Selena, you already got a 50% off. I'm gonna have to give you something else tonight. I see how you doing, Selena. Selena got that like, look, she like, I'm gonna save my money. I am not giving LaDosha my money. I'm gonna come in the chat and get my discount. Oh, we got my homegirl Yate. What's going on, Yate? Yate.
Hey,
Selena
what's up?
AG. She in the chat trying to get all the savings. I keep telling people from the Reverend Design Team Hair Salon, if you come in the chat, you know we give away some cool stuff. And Selena, she ain't paid for a hairstyle.
And about what?
Selena, how many freebies you done got? Selena probably like, don't put my business out here because I told my husband to give me the money. I'm sorry, Selena. I love her. She got the best husband. I love him so much. You know what her husband calls me?
What?
Mogadishu.
Ooh, Mogadishu. Oh,
like, my name's LaDosha. He said, hey, I know what's going on,
Mogadishu.
I'm like, oh, LaDosha, Mogadishu, same thing. You know, I love that. I love it. I get called all kinds of funny. I'd be like, why your mama name you that? I don't know why they name me that, you know. But anywho, so we're gonna have a wonderful podcast tonight. And we thanking you all because now this topic is going to be very powerful. It's not a messy boots one because you know Fatou don't play that. Fatou like, oh no, we're going to be dignified Africans. Fatou like, we're not going no kilolo, you put kilolo aside when I come through. She be like, they not like us. But you know, isn't it true? We talked about this last week, right? And I'm going to play this when we bring Fatou in. We had a clip from the late great, you know, educator, scholar, Dr. Amos Wilson, and he talked about us being able to critique each other. And so at a point in this interview with Fatou, we are going to play that clip again. And so it's just going down. The build is coming through. Everybody coming through for Fatou. You know, we got Rashida coming through, Atlanta coming through, Tafele, everybody coming through. That's what Fatou, she bring them out. You know, they say, oh, Fatou coming on, let's get on this live and see what Fatou got to say. Because Fatou is, like I said, a little bit more dignified. What's up, Miko? You are going to enjoy this over here on Instagram. Oh, we got to welcome everybody. What's up to our Twitch family? How you doing out there, Twitch? We're new on Twitch. Twitch been rocking it out with us. I see y'all like, okay, that's a little different. You know, Twitch is kind of like YouTube, but a little more artistic, you know, because they have all the music, a little bit more, juju over there on Twitch. So thank you so much, Twitch, for allowing us to be in your space. And so again, our topic tonight is the worldwide agenda for women. And we are about to bring in Mrs. Fatou Saine Gaye, and she is the founder of the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy. Now, this is an academy, an educational institution. I shouldn't call it institution because I don't like that word. What should I say? I don't like institution. Then American institution means something. Well, Fatou gonna check me either way it go, you know. So it's an educational learning mecca. You know what I'm saying? It's just something magnificent. Academy, that is what it's called. Duh. Well, I have blonde in my hair. What's your stupid power? Because we got some stupid blondes. I shouldn't say that. Fatou come in the chat, I gotta act like I got some sense. But anywho, yeah, so within her academy, she has various areas of discipline. She has cosmetology, of course, in no given order. Cosmetology. She also has fashion design. She has information technology. Let's see. She has catering. I'm telling you right now, you ain't had no soul food till you went to the Gambia and. I ain't gonna say no. Let me just calm down, okay? So they have. I'm telling y'all, Rashida in the chat, and she would tell you we was eating. Oh, okay. So she has catering. And they also make stuff like out of baskets, so like cultural stuff. And so and they have a STEM, or so they have STEM, they have agriculture. So all of these disciplines are just absolutely phenomenal. And so when we bring Fatou in, she's going to be able to talk about it a little bit more. We got some delegates who actually went to Africa with me in 2019 in the chat, such as my boss, Lovina. Drop them L's in the chat. Come on now, y'all. Don't fall asleep on us now, because Fatou is about to come in. We done got this bill going on. My boss, Lavina, is here. I'm just loving that. I'm loving that. Look at Rashida. The food is delicious. And so we are going to be talking about the worldwide agenda for women. She is here attending the Commission for the Status of Women. And so she will be able to talk about that a whole lot more better than Shirley and I. We have like 4 excellent talking points that we're going to bounce back between her and Shirley. Y'all know me. I don't know that much. I'm here because I know the owner, So I'm here to learn like all the rest of you. But Cheryl, before we bring in Fatou, can you share with us, why is this topic of the worldwide agenda for women such as a wonderful like conclave and think tank that they have brought together on the Commission for the Status of Women? Can you give everybody, just in your opinion, why you think that bringing women together internationally under one roof is powerful and important? And then we're going to bring in Fatou, so y'all stick around because we're about to bring her in.
I just think that all regions, let's just say geographical, and I think that is even more important as the division of the global South and the global North gets further apart. And I think that when we start claiming resources as feminine, like water, air, the rights of children, women's equity, ownership of the world's resources, and even our whole labor and what we do for humanity and just be able to state our case clearly. And here we go again. I think when we meet, we get on a global consensus and we're not fragmented with each other. And so unification is important for organizing. And once and force light women is completely get on a global one accord, and that our interests are aligned, no matter if we're in the global North, like India, and Europe. Okay. And I think that we can solve most of the ails that, systems that are heavily male. And we have something to add if we are together strong. And so the intersectionality, even of such industry as beauty, we have a lot to offer in terms of profits and finance and building strong economies around women's issues.
Yeah. And I think, for all of us who work in the industry, and because we have our hair aficionados who are not working in the industry, but you guys have your careers, having Fatou come in and talk to us about this worldwide agenda for women, we hope that you can walk away with something that you can take to your workspace and be inspired and go on to do great things. Because though we don't have a think tank of sorts in our industry, our goal is to interview Fatou and be able to listen to her and be inspired and take some of these talking points, and perhaps we could do something like the worldwide agenda for cosmetology. Wouldn't that be like fascinating?
And we could do it in Houston.
Yeah, I mean that would just be absolutely fascinating. So I'm gonna give a big round of clap for that, because we're gonna get ready to bring in my sister, Fatou Saine Gaye. So y'all know the house rules when we bring our cousins in, okay? All the way from Africa by way of the Gambia by way of New York.
She's in New York right now.
San Diego, because sure be claiming her too. But we want you guys to take your left hand, okay, and your right hand, put them together, or you can drop your hand clap emojis as we bring in my sister, love friend, my hero, my shero, the one and only Fatou Saine Gaye. Come on, y'all, give it up for her. There she is, guys. One more time. Take a bow, take a bow, take a bow, take a bow. Look at her taking a bow. I love you, Fatou. How are you? How are you?
I'm good, doing great here.
You're
Thank
doing
you.
good here. Now, before we get
Yes.
started, I
Mm.
I I, I have someone in the chat. Hello, Kafele. Kafele, can I get out the doghouse after this? So now I'm gonna confess because y'all know me. You know, I'm gonna go ahead on and tell the truth according to proof. But we know that Kafele resides in New York City. And shame on us for not making sure that you could connect with Kafele, because he needs you, you need him. And
Yes.
we dropped the ball, Kafele. And this is why we're having the worldwide agenda for women
Mm.
tonight, because this is yet another example. And this is why, we need to have these conversations, because, and remember, we said we're going to play the clip that we got to check each other. And Kafele let Cheryl know, and Cheryl let me know before the live we were slipping.
We
You know what I'm
slipped.
saying? We slipped on that. And so he wants to see you, Fatou, and we will make sure that you guys can connect via WhatsApp. We don't want to put Fatou's information out there because y'all gonna be trying to get to the Gambia before I do. So I'm not having that. Okay, I will be there in October, but y'all not gonna get there before me. So I'm not gonna put Fatou's number up here. So we're going
Mm.
to make sure that you and Kafele can connect. And Kafele, you are 100% correct. We could have done better, and we will. So thank you, Kafele, for checking Cheryl first. Just like a chicken. Cheryl go first. A cow, look, a cow will live to tell how the brave sister got killed.
Chicken ass. That's okay. That's okay, because he was right.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the other thing is that our brothers are here to help us and to cover us and to make sure that we get from one point to the next point safely.
Sure.
And we got to do better next time.
Yes, we're gonna do better. So Kafele, you will hear from me. I'm gonna call him Baba Kafele. Put a little extra sauce on that title, Kafele. And so Fatou, we're gonna make sure that you guys connect. So we just had to get that out the way. Now, again, we are talking about the worldwide agenda for women, and we have Mrs. Fatou Saine Gaye. And again, she's the founder of the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy. What's up, bro Mo? How you doing, my big brothers in the chat? I'm glad you're feeling better. Yes.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, my brother.
Okay.
He had me over there, clean up his house. Fatou. He was like, pick that up in the corner. Sorry, Maurice, I had to put you on blast too.
So big bro. I got my chaya latte with the turmeric, the clove, the nutmeg, and the cinnamon, and the black pepper. Okay.
Well, here's Fatou over there, like, while I'm over here, like, what you talking about, Willis?
Okay. And we got a little walnut milk. Okay. So you make sure that's a little sis over there, get over there and make you some. Okay.
Sure, just showing out for Fatou, but that's okay.
No. You put my ass under the bus, chicken ass.
She had a lot in that cup. I would love to taste that next time.
I know that sounds absolutely delicious.
Kaya with the clove, nutmeg, cinnamon, and
send the recipe over.
The cayenne pepper with the turmeric, and then you mix it with the cocoa, the latte, and then you put a little walnut creamer in it, and it's delicious. Because I got to do some work tonight, so I can't be.
Anybody notice the pinky in the air? But I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. Anywho, so Fatou, we thank you so very much. How is your stay going in New York City?
I'm enjoying every bit about it, because it's all about women empowerment, the status of women, the challenges that women face, and every hole that you get into, they're talking about issues that affect women and
Mm,
relating it back to Beijing 30, which is 30 years now as the women went to Beijing to talk about their issues. And up to now, what have we achieved? We've achieved some, but there's still some left. So we've seen the marginalization that's still happening with women, and we're still fighting that, and it's coming up. So
wow.
I believe that the future is women, and the time is now.
Mm.
Absolutely.
The future is
Yeah,
women and the time.
time is now.
So you're saying Beijing is the charge of this commission on the status of women. Is that correct?
No, no, no. The women went to Beijing 30 years ago to talk about issues that affect women, regards to FGM, gender-based violence, um, wars, crimes, marginalization, low pay rates for women, not giving them most positions, not being in National Assembly, women in politics. All these were issues that they've talked about. And up to now, it's 30 years. What have we achieved? This is what we're talking about this year. What
Mm,
have we achieved from the 30 years to now? We've seen America trying to get a woman to stand, but it didn't happen. Are women still marginalized? Are they
mm,
given the chances that they should have? What are we doing as women to take our stand? Because I
mm.
believe what a man can do, a woman can do even far better.
Mhm.
Empowering a woman means you've empowered a nation. And when
Wow.
we empower a nation economically, it becomes stable. We have a lot to sustain when women are in power because they look at themselves as mothers and want to embrace everybody. So these are the things that we talked about on the at the UN National Assembly. A lot of countries have joined seminars where it's done by Europe countries like Germany, England, come together to have a forum, talk about issues of women. You go some Greece, some Spain, Gambia, Kenya, Senegal, everywhere people are
Wow.
having side events talking about issues that affects them.
Wow.
Yesterday we had the Gambia that we talk about FGM, the gender-based violence, um, the
And
female
what is
circumcision, the
FDM?
female genital circumcision,
Mutilation.
because yeah,
Oh.
yeah, exactly. So because women are circumcised,
Oh.
and yes, they've been doing it in the Gambia, doing it in lots of countries, and they said it's norm, it's value, it's a cultures. When are we going to break those paradigms? When are we going to get away from these that we said it's culture? What is culture giving us? You know, what are the
Mm.
stigmas giving us? So
Did you hear that? Excuse
how
me. I'm
can we
sorry for
change
cutting you
this?
off.
Hmm.
Did you hear that, Cheryl? She says, "What has culture given us?"
Yes.
And that's powerful because
Well,
here.
it's akin to what Dr. Amos Wilson was saying. And I
Hmm.
know that me and Confele had a conversation as well, and me and Ladosha talk about it. Culture must be expanded. It
Hmm.
must be progressed.
Hmm.
Must elevate, and the elasticity that we bring to it is our questions. We're
Hmm.
questioning it,
Hmm.
and just because it may belong in history or its tradition or its does not mean that it is of substance. In our
Mm,
job as progressive African descending people and women, it is our job to question the the
like a
historicity.
status quo.
It is us to say no more. It's not useful. Where did it come from? And it could be whether it's embedded in or started by patriarchy, or is it you know in some kind of religions or whatever the case may be. But we are humanitarians.
Hmm.
Okay.
We're
All
not
right.
trying.
Yeah.
We're trying to build those bridges. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're
With modern day technology, we can still regard culture because this is our heritage. We cannot just get away from the heritage. We cannot just break those things, but we can break the paradigms and bring in innovation and bring in creativity and still work within our cultures and our norms and our values. Because that is what makes us stand. That is what makes us who we are. We cannot get away from them, but we have to modernize it.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
in order to fit everybody and fit the modern world that we live in. So these
Mm,
are the things that we wanted to bring in. But in order to do that, we have to sensitize the masses. We have to educate the masses for them to understand what we mean and what we feel and how the world is moving in the next direction. We live in a world of globalized competition where everything is stiff and people need to innovate to get out of it. So if we just wanted to be stagnant from where we are up to now, we're just going to lay back. So this is why when we come together, we talk about these issues and we share them. It
mm-hmm,
was really heartening when I went to the forum that Greece did yesterday morning, and they were talking about women beaten by their husbands and nobody can say anything. Why? Because they said that he's the head of the family. He's now your when you get out of your parents' house, your husband is your parent. He can do anything to you. That was wrong. That was something that shouldn't happen. And there was a lady that said that he had a foundation now fighting that, and now he's getting the law from the government also that it has to stop because women are not slaves. You
mm,
see, all this happens, and if you don't go to these places, you will not understand that women are facing a lot of issues that are not relatively good.
Mhm.
But they think some people think that it's just normal, and it is
mm.
not. So we
And
wanted to tell them the future of what brings the world together, what brings an advancement to our world is us, and that's women. And we said the time is now because we want to start now.
wow.
Starting now
Um,
can take us to the next level.
that is
And I also think that
extremely powerful. Go ahead. I'm sorry,
and
Cheryl.
I also
Mm,
think that the Western
Mm-hmm,
understanding, or the Western woman, we need to
mm,
get our Western women into
mm,
involved more, because in
mm,
Black North American culture,
mm,
and we think that back east or Africa or someplace,
mm,
we talk about our issues as if it was better back there.
mm,
And we are a people who have lots of roots in the past, lots of roots in the present, and we are some of the youngest women on the planet. We are a
mm,
very young people, and
mm.
so it really requires us to not think that everything is. We still have a lot to do, and that's one of the reasons why we need to get involved, because we can
Mhm.
make a lot of impact.
so you're saying we
Can
have
make
to
a lot of
watch
difference.
this romanticizing. We got to kind of,
Mhm.
okay,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move further into the conversation. And in case you have just, scroll like on 22s, where am I? You are on planet Pluto Pseudo. All right. Keep your helmets on and float around. And we're going to hear and learn from Fatou Saine Gaye about the worldwide agenda for women. And of course, I want to use that word intersectionality. I don't know when or where I can use it, but I like the way Cheryl said it. So I don't know. Maybe I can put it in there. Cheryl, tell me where I can put it. Uh, we're going to somehow mesh, cosmetology in the fold of the worldwide agenda for women. After all, you do own a cosmetology school, and we do have licensed professionals in the chat. And more important than anything, I want our colleagues to see is that they have to come from behind the chair.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So let's start from there. Because we do have professionals who will say, I would, but it costs so much. I would, but I can't take off. So we have three talking points, but start off by encouraging, or rather explaining, or rather and explaining to them why it is important to come from behind the chair and attend various think tanks and not just CEUs. Why is it important to be a humanitarian as salon owners, cosmetologists, hairstylists, natural hairstylists, you name it, school owners? Why should we do the things that you're doing? Take off from work and do this type of stuff. Why?
I believe that we have to be each other's keepers and we have to be people that are not just for ourselves, but also empowering people so that we can be. They said empowered women can empower more women. And when we do that, we're building a nation. For example, if I train one person today on cosmetology and the person graduates, open a salon, she's going to empower another 5 or 10 because she's going to employ other people to work with her. And that is great empowerment, economically, socially, mentally. and nationally as well, because you're going to add value. Whatever you contribute goes to the national coffers. And that other person in Empower will do the same thing. So if we wanted to live in a better world, we have to be each other's keepers. In order to empower you, you have to empower others on the way. And everybody you empower, be very sure that you will empower other people on the way.
And
And
so
that is
you
it.
think
Yes.
that attending think tanks and conclaves and things of that nature, like the Commission for the Status of Women, that would be an important event, because you told me in the green room that I should have been there. And I would
Yeah.
not think that that is a place for a
I,
cosmetologist. And you would say what to that?
I would say no to that. I'll say that you are a game changer. For me, you are a game changer. You are a humanitarian. You support a lot of people along the way. We are example to that, right? You've empowered so many young people to come to our school to learn and to be able to do things for themselves. That is empowerment. How can I lift the hand of somebody? I've listened to a woman from Kenya. She said the greatest empowerment is to hold somebody's hand until the person becomes like you or more than you and let her go. Then you've let somebody go that can empower hundreds of other people along the way. So all those comes back to you because you started it. He said
Mm.
empowerment doesn't just start with I've supported her one day, I have to let her go. She have to do it. But make sure that mentorship goes. This platform brings a lot of networking partnership. The
Mm.
global partnership is what we're looking at right now. If we just want to have partners locally, that would make us grow. But if we have a global partnership, like we have in our partnership right now, working together, you came in 2019, we did the intercultural exchange. I came in 2022, 2023, and we did the summit. You coming back in 2025. What are we going to do next? All these are legacies that we leave behind. And the people who are inspired by us can do far more than what we do. And we do not want just people to be like us, but we want them to be more than us so that we can live a safer world and a better world. So I believe that with this forum, it has opened a lot of eyes, give me more opportunities to learn more, appreciate more people, understand a lot of more people, and then see their challenges and look at how I can also work to when I went back to the Gambia, when I go back to the Gambia and see young people going through the things that we've discussed, I can relate it to what I've learned from here. I
Mm.
can relate it to it and be able to support them, be able to empower more, motivate more, inspire more, and make a greater world. So it's all about networking, learning, sharing, and then adding value to yourself and to the people that you meet. Because
Wow.
as I give a statement, I inspire other people. And they give, they inspire me. And I also learn from them. And we learn every day as we grow. And
Wow.
those learning gives us an open eye to do a lot more in
Well,
society.
thank you so much for that. That's
So I
very
believe you and Sarah should be part of this commission for status of women to empower more women to learn from other people and also share the beautiful knowledge that you have, and
mm.
people will be more inspired to achieve what you have in yourself.
Now, I am going to drop some information about the Commission for the Status of Women, so you guys can go and do some research. And like
Mm.
Fatou said, perhaps we could attend next year, because our role as cosmetologists and just barber and beauty professionals, as well as entrepreneurs, is not just about, like she said, reaching into the community, but coming out and to the global world for networking and being able to be supportive of one another, so that we can pay it forward to the younger generation and change some of these paradigms. So it is important that we do inspire each other. Now, here's a humble brag. I don't really like to do this, but I got to do it because she used the word inspire. And so I'm proud to share with you guys that I have been nominated
Oh,
to for winning for women as women who inspire. And so it's a breakfast. The tickets are
congratulations.
$20, and it's here in Cleveland. And so this is a perfect example of what Fatou is talking about, and this comes in various capacities, but as persons of influence behind the chair, around the chair, the front desk, wherever you're at, it is important that we do what Fatou said, and that is get out into the world so that we can show our other skills and talents, and we can also learn from other people. So thank you, Melanie Butler, and Dress for Success of Cleveland, for
Congratulations.
nominating. Let me put the hand clap. Okay, I'm gonna do a hand clap. Y'all can show me some love. I'll probably hear like a
Oh.
little hand clap here. There we go, guys. Yes, yes, yes. And so as we can see, so far, we hope you are learning that if you are working in this industry, you plan on working or entering the industry, we want you guys to know that beyond the chair is also where it's at. What's up, Chappie? I see you over there on Instagram with your sexy Butty. All right. I was going to say something else with Fatou in the chat, so I got to say Butty. All right. Okay. What's up, Juju? We got Fatou. There's Juju is in the chat. The chat is absolutely building. And then Juju also says, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And Real Roots Yate, you're doing a great job at catching some of those nuggets that Fatou is dropping. So if you could continue to do that, that would help me out. And don't forget to follow Real Roots. And that's Yate Keaton right here on YouTube. She's also on Instagram, and she has a wonderful podcast specifically for female barbers. And so she was so kind to drop in the chat some of the nuggets that Fatou is sharing with us tonight. So if you could continue to do that for me, Yate, that would help me out. So let's get a little bit more into it now that you've told us why it is important for us to do other things than just attend CEUs. Let's talk about this whole thing, like you talked about. Is it what was it called? Female, what was it? FGN? What was it?
FGM.
FGM. Okay. So we
Female
know
genital mutilation.
I can't even say it. It's just it sounds so painful. But anyway, I want to play a clip. Now we are not being what's that word, show when you're anti-male? Is that misogynistic? No.
Misandry.
Misandry. See, sure got to give me. I don't have that good vocabulary. If I'm gonna get better. So it is not our intent. Now, when we say the worldwide agenda for women, we are not talking about emasculating men, and men don't have power. But we have to admit that men have been doing some very strange things to women for a long time. So we have to start off with women's rights are being under siege via the chaos caused by patriarchy. And I'm going to play a clip that's actually from the Commission on the Status of Women. And you could talk about Fatou, patriarchy and how it's really the antithesis of our goals of what we're trying to do around the world. And then sure, I want your take on the role that patriarchy is playing on the progress. That's what we're talking about, the progress of women. So I'm going to play this clip. Let me see if I can do my little share thing. Present. Now let me go over here. Y'all know Kilo, gotta get it together. Okay, y'all just hold on. I'm coming. All right. Can y'all see it, Cheryl? All right. Everybody can see it, Cheryl?
Yes, I can.
Okay, there we go. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm just gonna play a couple of seconds of it. Okay. Let me go find it. Okay, there it is. All right, here we go.
Women's rights are under siege. The poison of patriarchy is back, and is back with a vengeance.
All right. I was just going to stop right there. The poison. Did you hear that? The poison of patriarchy is back, and it is back with a vengeance. And I think this is the perfect way to set the tone about the worldwide agenda for women. So, Fatou, we're going to start with you. What is your take on patriarchy, as he says, and you can see it right here, UN's 69th Commission on the Status of Women, they opened this agenda with a caution about the resurgence of patriarchy. So Fatou, can you take it away about, I don't know, the influence or the interference of patriarchy in the progress of women's, advancing in various disciplines?
Yes. For me, I always said it. Maybe people are scared of giving women opportunities to excel on their own. But if chances are given to women, more great things will happen in the world. Right? We see a lot of feminists in this building, feminists like him, because only he for she will come and talk about women issues and want to support the agenda. So I can boldly say that he is a he for she who stands for women and stands for the right of women in order to support women excel. Some men are scared that when women excel, it's a it's a crime for them because they might do things that you know they were so. I just cannot express or explain how some men feel about
Oh,
women
we're
who are
losing you. You got to
empowered.
come back. You got to come back. There you go. Okay. There you go.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know how some men feel when women are really empowered. What will the outcome be? But for me, the outcome should be very positive
All right, we
because we
got some
have.
brothers in the chat. So,
Mm,
brothers in the chat, how do you feel about women in power? Okay,
yes, I
continue.
think this is the question we have to send to them to understand how they feel. Because I believe if men are in supportive of what we do, then we live a better world. Because when women, our hearts are very fragile, but they're very big as well. And they look at a lot of things to do, not to just do for themselves, but to do for all people around them. And doing that will be in a positive way all the time. That is why
Mm.
we said when one woman is empowered, a lot more can be empowered through that. A nation can be empowered when women are empowered. But men sometimes do not see that. But when we see men like him standing boldly and talking about how they are with
Oh
us
yeah,
and
he bold.
how they are ready to support the agenda that we have, then there is a positive move. If we have a lot more like them, then we live a different world. I sit in a forum where there was somebody from England speaking. He was a feminist, and how he was addressing issues was amazing, giving women all stands to excel, to do whatever they want to do. Even saying the women in politics, government should allow 43% of women to be in politics. If a country can do that, then that country will excel. I heard about Senegal talking about when they launched their gender parity in 2021. After the gender parity, they have 46% of women in National Assembly.
Wow.
That is great that no African country had.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
In the
Um.
Gambia, we only had four female ministers. That's sad. But if you go around in other countries, you see 15, 20 female ministers in parliament, in
Mm.
government, in the cabinet, and they will have a say, they will have a right.
Mm.
Women
Now
are
this
not,
is
they don't have
really.
access to land, they don't have access to own a lot of things. Women in Africa, their
Mm.
husbands will tell them, I own the land, you do the farming, and you feed the family. Then it means that women are taking men's role and not recognized for it.
So African American women, stop complaining. It happens in Africa too. Okay.
So,
Wow, this is powerful. So men, don't be afraid. If you're watching this post alive or right now, if you have any concerns about women in power, please share with us why. And then
mm,
number two, if you support women in power, uh, of course, yes, and then tell us why. Now,
mm.
Cheryl, it's your turn. Now, y'all get ready. Fatou gave it to us African style, okay? Y'all heard what she said, all right? What she said. She said what she said, all right? They got a little problem with women in power, but the number is rising in spite of. Now, Cheryl is going to give it to you African American style. So, Cheryl, I can't give y'all nothing because I don't. Anywho. Cheryl, give us your take on women's rights are under siege. Um, with this resurgence of patriarchy.
Yeah. I first want to focus on the wonderful presence of men at a summit like this.
Mhm,
Come
mhm,
on, Cheryl.
And
mhm,
for him to be older and European, because all he remembers is colonial overtake of and all he knows in his age group. So that was good to see. But what I do want us to also understand, just as North American culture, we seem to think that in our mother country, continent, that they don't have these types of problems. So even in our contemporary conversation, we allude to that we don't need to fix the continent, and we do, because that is where our youngest, most population on the planet is. And so to be able to partner with this conversation to help those women, because they are the future women who are going to be on the planet for the next, 150 to 175 years. But I will say that I think that we need to start teaching each other that one of the issues is that economies are female in nature. And so, okay, that economies are female. Their natures are female. They create, they bring life, they sustain life, they feed, things grow. And I think that if we can reteach and reintroduce it as these agriculture, money, finance, all of those things are energy, and those must be kind of like re-aggregated and redirected into the hands of women, so we can grow those types of concepts. And we do know, and I'll be very honest with you, I do believe that patriarchy does not help men. It does not. In fact, especially Black men, patriarchy is extremely, because it becomes power-based and not collaborative-based. Power is what corrupts the system if it is not shared. And our cultures teach us that share and balance and equilibrium is much more economically sustainable. And I think that not just us talking from a woman's perspective, but to hear from males and men, to understand that even the system creates capitalist greed, kind of silos of power. And then we have the ongoing war. And then we have, when people fight over resources, we got these political fights. But I do think that we just need to relearn how to think feminine in terms of how we talk about resources. Because even one of the reasons why patriarchy likes to corral and own and control females or women is because women are a resource. The things we do, our capabilities, the way we think, and our work ethics. But we have to allow them to understand that you can't grow and progress when you are opposing, right? When you're everything that you do, you have to have oppression as the driving force. You can't have, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, everything is about, and the young man, as in the video, as he introduced the video, he said, we got to do something different.
Right.
It's not working, and it's coming back as a survival mechanism. People
Jolanda did the quote, the poison of patriarchy is back with a vengeance. That's very powerful for a man to come and speak up, like you said, to show up and be there. We did have Maurice, my brother. Come on, gentlemen, don't be afraid to share your opinions with us. So my brother says women empower. They're obviously that's okay with him. They make good decisions, not quick to go to war, and can resolve conflicts. And I think Fatou, this is what you were saying in the beginning.
Mm,
That when you empower women, you get excellent nationhood building that equals sustainability. So can you
mhm.
just elaborate a little bit more, especially, owning a cosmetology school and encouraging, the young ladies to go out and work and have their own. If you could just elaborate a little bit more on how women can sustain, because you said empowerment, nationhood building, and then you said they can do great sustainability. And so Maurice kind of went along with what you're saying. So can you elaborate a little bit more on how women can help in this sustainability?
Okay. Thank you so much. I'll go back to our 60th independence anniversary this year. The theme was marching in solidarity for self-reliance. And I think self-reliance is the umbrella of everything that we're talking about today. If women are supported to be independent, they're self-reliant because they can do things for themselves and for themselves, support their families and support whoever comes across them. That's only that heart is only in a woman's heart. A woman is the only one that can have and share with others and develop others on the way because they don't see themselves doing it alone, but they always wanted to have a holding hand to do it together with. So what we do as well as cosmetologists, and we had a cosmetology school, is a subtle example. We can use Sarah today as an example. She's an educationist. She's always willing to share, always willing to give back to people. And I see what she does with you, what she has done with me, and that has enlightened a lot of skills in me, given me a lot of things that I can add value to my professionalism, how I think and how I talk and how I do little things. And that all I've learned a little bit from her when I came the last time. And I've seen her doing that with you, Ladosa, every time. She could have kept what she had, do what she wanted to do, but yet still willing to share that. That's the beautiful heart of a woman. That is what we call women empowerment. She's empowered, but yet still wanted to also empower you to empower others. And that's the chain of command that we have as women. When we see somebody
Mm.
excelling in something, they wouldn't want to keep it to themselves, but they always wanted to give it out to people that they know that they can give it out to, and those can give it out to other people. The power of 10 of empowerment, like I say it all the time, is you've been empowered by Sarah. You let us empowering me every day, and I empower a lot of hundreds of young people back there in the Gambia. So that's a great step of us doing it. We're coordinating this in the chain of command. And that chain of command is really strong because it's adding more value. It's giving us the solidarity to march together and also be able to empower people for self-reliance, independence, and also be able to do things for themselves, not to just seek for jobs, but to create them themselves. Because as soon as they have these skills, they create the jobs themselves. As they create it, they have other people alongside that they bring together. Those people, when they also learn from the person, they'll also go and create the other something else and other create other entrepreneurs to be with them. And that is national development. This is what we
Mm.
call nation building. This is what we call partnership. And the globalized partnership is what we're doing right now. Because me from the Gambia, Sarah, I'm there and you here. This is global. This is not national. This is
Absolutely.
international. Yes, and
Mm.
this is what
Mm.
we're doing to empower a lot more people along the way, and they'll all be inspired about what we do, think about it, change their mindsets, have a better mindset that will bring sustainability. Whatever is happening right now, it's bringing sustainability because it's continuous. We know it's not going to just stop where it starts, but it's going and it's going in a long way that we do not even know. We're touching so many hearts that we do not even know,
Wow.
right?
And on that
So many
note,
people
uh,
are appreciative of what we do. So many people are appreciative of what Cheryl does because it doesn't only empower you. I believe it empowers a lot of your other people in the US, right?
mm,
And doing it with you, you also let us wanted to empower a lot of young people, a lot of other people that comes around you. I've come to you and I've seen you doing it. And that's the
mm.
same thing I'm doing in the Gambia. So if that value chain is we us taking from her, I take from you, and I give back to other people around me. This is what we call real empowerment, and women champions only do this.
All right, let's give Fat. That
Yeah.
was That was so dang on powerful. Round of applause for Fatou, okay? So you guys, you are on planet Pluto. The wonderful Fatou Saine Gaye is here with us this evening. We're talking about the worldwide agenda for women. And so far, just in case you just scroll on across, we've talked about women's rights. Women's rights are under siege via patriarchy. And one thing's for certain, and two things for sure, that according to Fatou, it is the empowerment that creates or sustains or builds, nationhood, and that results in sustainability. And it's like a circle. But in America, we kind of like to do things like linear. You know what I'm saying? But if you listen to Fatou Cheryl, she talks like this is like a endless cycle that never stops. Where you have empowerment, nationhood, building sustainability, empowerment, nationhood, sustainability, and we can't do it on our own. We have to do it with each other. But there's always going to be a problem, right? So I have to do this. I know you guys are like, Key Lolo, yeah, I got to do it because I want to play the clip again. And it's about how we have now, in order to do the things that you and Fatou are suggesting to overcome patriarchy, we're going to have to make changes. But sometimes when we have to make changes, I mean, we have to correct each other. So our next talking point is going to be about the mission to accelerate. But acceleration for not just Black people, but for women in general can be a problem when we can't accept the criticism or, we need to be checked, or I don't know any other way to say it, but, we're going to be criticized. So I'm going to play this clip again, and this is from a recording of Dr. Amos Wilson about critiquing one another and culture. And then we're going to start off with the question again about the mission for women to accelerate us and move forward in the future. So here we go. Should African Americans be critical of each other?
What were the problems represented by African cultures such that we permitted ourselves to be overrun by Europeans and we find ourselves in the situation that we find ourselves tonight? Understand? It's no insult for us to ask that question of ourselves. And it's no insult for us to look critically at African history and culture and to be critical of it. It is only through our being critical of our history and our culture that we can advance our interests as a people and survive as a people.
Why hasn't the culture of the natural hair community solved the problems with natural hair?
This is the thing we have to keep in mind. You don't have a culture just to have a culture. And you don't claim a culture just because it's a culture or just because it's African. The ultimate thing that culture must do is solve problems.
All right. So Fatou kind of came in with that the obvious goal of the Commission on the Status of Women is to be able to solve problems. But we have to admit, not only in other areas of disciplines around the world, I mean, in the world of work, but in cosmetology, there's something about critiquing one another. That's a problem. And leaning on culture, but not using it to do what you talked about in the beginning, which is to solve problems. So with that being said, before you answer the question about the mission to accelerate, I can see Juju in the chat asking everybody to hit that thumbs up button. So Cheryl, can you show them what they need to do right now before Fatou answers the question about how can we progress this acceleration that needs to take place? So here we go, Cheryl. Show them how to do it. Pampa me on, pampa me on. All right, bye yada. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. We are about 78 episodes in, and we are here with the one and only Fatou Saine Gaye, the founder of the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy. And so she is sharing with us some very powerful and poignant reasons of why women can do wonderful things with their power. And so we're about to go into our second talking point, which is about the mission to accelerate progress. And that is what you're doing at the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy. You're on a mission to accelerate youth. But in the midst, in the face of adversity and patriarchy all over the place. So talk to us about the mission that you have to accelerate. And then Cheryl, I want you to address what should our mission be as professionals to accelerate our industry. So Fatou, take it away about your mission to accelerate students attending the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy using what you've learned or is learning at the Commission for the Status of Women.
Okay.
Whoops, I think we lost her.
Really? Oh my
I think
God.
she'll
Wait.
be back. She was finna take it away. Did y'all see that? See, I wish you
I
could
was
do.
like,
She was
okay, I
finna.
looked to the
She
left
was
for a
like,
minute.
let me
I was
get
getting ready
this,
to
let
write
me
it
get
down.
this in. She was like, let me get it in, let me get it in. Okay. She gonna come back, y'all. Just hold on. Y'all know how it is when your phone is from out of the country and everything. Yes, Fatou is doing a wonderful job. And
Yeah.
if you guys have questions for Fatou, maybe you're thinking about opening up a school, or maybe you're thinking about traveling abroad and do some things in education, please drop your questions in the chat so that Fatou can answer them. It's not often that we get international flavor up in here. So greetings from Africa, the land of the smiling coast. What's going on, Mr. Solomon the King? So wonderful. We are so glad to have you guys over on Instagram. And Fatou is definitely rocking it out. And she is back with us. Here she comes, guys.
Okay.
All right. There you go,
Sorry, I
Fatou.
just
So
wanted
again,
to,
you're gonna
yes, I just wanted to
uh-huh.
relate back to the beginning, as Africans were saying it's their norm, it's their value, it's a culture that they can do here anyhow. And then before we talked about the law, before I came to the US, I think that's the same thing. These are the narratives that we still have, right? Whatever we do, we must learn it. We must have put education first. Education is the bottom line of everything. If you're not educated in doing this, then it's difficult to achieve it. They said if you want to be an entrepreneur, it has to even cost you to learn what you wanted to do before you just go out there and just do it. You must have a knowledge of doing things before you just get out there to do it. So for me, I believe that is right. Right. So I've learned a lot of things on the CSW, and I've talked to a lot of people, share ideas with a lot of experienced people, learn in a lot of platforms, that when I go back, I'll be very confident to talk about this, giving scenarios of it, examples of what I've learned, what I've seen, and that can give other people the opportunity to also learn from me. But I've got it from source. That is more important. That is why I said education is key in whatever we do, right? Relating it
Mm-hmm.
to facts
Mm-hmm.
is better than just relating it to fictions that are not happening. So I've got the facts and I've got the right facts, and I can use that to attest to stand and then talk about the status of women, to stand and talk about the empowerment, the inspiring women, and what the motivation that women should have. Talk about mentorship, counseling, and how you can get people on the right path to do the right thing. So I think this have been a
Mm-hmm.
great eye opener for me to learn and to be able to teach others. I get it and I'll give it
So
to other
your
people.
so your so excuse me for cutting you off. So your mission in accelerating women and students in your school is really, it's like a crucible. Is that what you're saying? Where you interlock arms and everybody is going to come through this together. And this is what you're learning from the CSW, is that we definitely have to band and unite and come through this Even though we're going to do it differently, of course, but it's kind of like a No Child Left Behind, which is
Exactly.
ironic given what's happening in the United States with the voting of the Department of Education. And you're saying education is key. And then you
Mm.
came through very powerful because in America, there was a big push in the natural hair community that they did not need education
Mhm.
because they had culture, and that this braiding thing was something that we brought over, and so now we see something different. And so I think that's very powerful. So you have another point on accelerating the students, and then Cheryl, I want you to take it away about um, what do you think we could do to accelerate our industry. So if I tell you have any other talking points about your mission to accelerate the students at your school.
Um, for me, I believe that I've got not enough, not everything, because learning never stops. We learn every day and then we achieve what we want and share with others. So I think I've
Okay.
learned a lot that I can share with others, and I will also want to create platforms that I can create network. I've talked to people that would like to even share with my students when I go back. I've got their contacts, so I'll also contact those people to be able to talk to my students. And they don't only need to learn in school, but also need to learn about themselves as a woman, not about stories of other inspiring women that can also inspire them. These are life skills that they also have to learn. And I've met up
Okay.
with people that are willing to share these life skills with them so that we can have maybe forums with them online and they can learn and share from them, heard from different countries, different sides of the other sides of the world, that these are different. How we live and how other people live is different, and what we can achieve from them and add to what we have can make a difference. All these
All
things I
right.
think that I'm gonna take away. Yes.
Okay. All right. Don't
Mhm.
forget, guys, if you have any questions for Fatou, feel free to ask her any question. She's going to do a great job and getting your questions answered about what's happening in the world of cosmetology, or just like on the topic again today. It's really about the worldwide agenda for women. We're just bringing a meshing cosmetology and barbering and all of that, into this conversation. So please feel free and don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. So Cheryl, it's your turn, but you're going to do it a little differently and answer the question about what should our mission be to accelerate the barber and beauty industry. Um, I won't say the world. I know you're like, Kilolo, why you say that? But you can start here in America. But anywho, take it away, Cheryl.
I think North Black and American beauty culture, and so when they started the National Beauty Cultures League in 1919, they called it beauty culturists. So I have, since America, and America conservative, that they want to go back, I say I'm gonna go back. Since everybody's going back, I'm gonna go back. And so in 1919, they named it the National Beauty Cultures League. And so being a beauty culturist, that means that you are accepting of the whole entire gamut of what beauty culture is about, which is hygiene, which is womanly arts, right? It is about selfhood. It is about self-worth. It is about your name and your likeness, your persona, okay, your mental health, your total well-being. And so I believe if we elevate in terms of here in the United States, I believe that as culture of Black people in the natural hair and the cosmetology and barbering in Lock world, if we can come together and be able to embrace all of and become beauty culturist, then we will not get so locked into all of the sub grouping. And once again, there's that word intersectionality. We need to go ahead and woven ourselves into our one mission, and that is to make lives, money, and economies easier for women to ascertain. And
Okay.
once they answered, and also, which is you named Yate, She is dealing with women barbers. And so we are not trying to just completely divide, um, you know, in terms of gender. What we are saying is that we're going to be a little more elevated in our sensitivities and in our sensibility, how we approach markets, economies, and being able to connect to West Africa and the whole diaspora. We are trying to make sure that we get our house in check so that we don't be in chaos and we be on different types of different points. And I think that we're almost there, Fatou, and that we can come to the Gambia, the Ivory Coast, and Cote d'Ivoire, or Burkina Faso, and Senegal, and everywhere as a unified whole, and start going and taking the things that we have in the Western world. We have the technology and innovation and new systems. But more importantly, and me and Kafeli was talking about this morning, we now need to connect to our African cultures because we want to elevate the braiding game. We
Now,
do
when you
have,
say we, this conversation isn't limited to people of color. You're talking about the entire industry, correct?
Yeah.
no, right now I am talking about people of color because I'm talking
Okay.
about the natural in just in terms of hair care. Okay.
Okay.
Um, and let me just say this, and because, and that's a very good point, Ladosha, because we're talking about making the education so broad that when other races of people and other races of women do want to come, we do have the education that Fatou is talking about. We
Okay.
have it so much more factual, precise, historically aligned, and it also that is also important. And so
Yeah,
I
so it's
think
not all over the place.
right,
Okay.
and we were
Okay.
talking about it this morning, that I think it's time that we need to create a more of a education partnership, because we need to advance. We need to increase our profits and revenues so we can also keep giving back to each other and feeding our schools, building new schools in that nation building that you were talking about. So we need other techniques to offer a new customer. So we do need more of the mop and other braiding styles so we can introduce them to the Western market. And
Right.
once we
Okay.
begin to increase that Western markets, we can then be able to do that international kind of relationing that we need to do, and to make us a lot more economic sustainable.
All right. Okay. We have one more talking point, and then we got to let Fatou get ready for tomorrow. And again, we are talking about the worldwide agenda featuring Fatou Saine Gaye, the founder of the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy. This is a very powerful, powerful discussion. So please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. We are giving people in our industry some insight of our role from behind the chair and beyond by way of being humanitarians. And according to Cheryl and both Fatou, this sustainability can only be done through empowerment as well as growth in our industry. Now, this last clip, now, because here's another catch. Now, this one is going to be, it's like a onesie twosie. Okay, I'm gonna hit both of y'all with the 1-2 punch. All right, and don't forget to if you have any questions, drop them in the chat for Fatou. So we've kind of got we got it knocked out the park about men and patriarchy. We've addressed that. You both have given some very poignant points about how we can accelerate. And you see, I kept putting in, are you talking about for us? Or are you talking about for them? Because the issue is that here we have something new and creative called Afro hair science. But there are a lot of people who would question, what make y'all think, or you and Cheryl or her dad can do this thing called Afro hair science, and nobody else has done it. And then you're going to take it over to the Gambia, and now Fatou is sharing this with her students. As a matter of fact, our goal, we're just going to put it out here, is to make the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy the Mecca. You would travel. Just like you go to Vidal Sassoon Academy, you would travel to the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy to get the highest, acumen of education about Afro hair. But you're gonna have people who could say, who made you guys? What made you qualified? So here's a clip to all the naysayers that says we have no business creating things our own because white folk didn't give it to us. So here we go, guys. Last question.
They couldn't grasp. They didn't understand that. When we began to put together, when Dr. Ben began to suggest to us again, as George G.M. James and many others had already suggested, that in fact the world's history began in the Nile Valley, and the Nile Valley is in Africa, and it was developed by African people. They weren't ready for that. So what did we have to do? Dr. Ben began to Xerox and mimeograph his own books and staple them together. Francis Wilson began to put together a little pamphlet, but distribute that around. I began to put together these little books and spread those around. We began to say, look, I don't have to get your permission to think.
Okay. That is the illustrious Dr. Naeem Akbar. We told you guys that our mission here on Planet Pluto Pseudo is where you guys can go and get some good information. Remember, you can go over to the Transatlantic Productions at Tap Videos right here on YouTube, and that is where I borrowed that clip from. So let's start with you, Cheryl, and then Fatou, we're going to let you take it out. What do you say to people who are saying, now you and Fatou are up here talking about we have to survive patriarchy through empowerment, nationhood building, that equal sustainability via the efforts of women through this crucible of carrying people through, but that's something y'all made up. So what do you say to people who say y'all now you got your Afro hair science book, now you got your Afro hair, you got your where your little thing at, sure, hold on, let me put it on up here. Now you got your own posters. Who gives you the permission to move forward? Do we need to have that rubber stamp from the man to chart our course with our worldwide agenda for women? That's the question.
You know how when in Western religions, I don't know how they do it in the Gambia, but do you guys remember when the pastor says or the bishop says, I got the call? When they get called to the ministry, right? Well, do we ever question who called them? And so when Africa, the mother, the great continent, the mother energy, the cosmic mother, whoever you, I almost just say they called me. And since we don't question when people say I was called to do this or that or this or that, we have to be able to understand that I don't know what I know. I don't even know how I know it. Mr. Merle didn't know how he knew it. Sometimes we don't know why we do things, but we feel them. And I know that I was taught to have an affinity for something that is naturally has a ring to me. And for me to not, I don't have to retail my purpose from a college or whatever the case may be. Sometimes it comes just as organic and holistic as I know my name. And so I believe that cosmetologists, cosmetologists and barbers, we are a special people. I think that we are highly creative. I believe that when God
Mm-hmm.
said, let there be light and water and this and that, and let it be, I believe he was talking to cosmetologists. Make things
Oh,
pretty and
well, see.
creative, put form, put patterns, make it pretty, put color. And so that's how I feel it. And I think that we are ready in numbers. I think that the women barbers are ready. I think the women beauty culturists are ready. I think the brothers are ready. I think other races of people find us so amazingly creative and they're excited. We just have to step in and do it.
All right. Our
Mhm.
virtual de facto producer, Miss Esther T. Jones, is in the chat. So, everybody, let's give her a wonderful round of applause. Now, Esther, this is the epitome. We have to, Fatu, every time she's not always able to join us, but when she can, let me just give her a round of applause. Hold on, Esther. I got to give you your flowers. Hold on. Big clap. So this is the truth. When Charlotte and I first did this podcast, right, it was just us. And it was this young lady right here, Miss Esther T. Jones, who actually recommended what you're talking about tonight, which
Mhm.
was empowerment, empower women, nationhood building because it results in sustainability. She said, bring other people on to expound these conversations that you guys are having. So, Esther, here again, we got someone from around the globe, my sister love friend Fatou Saine Gaye. So, I just would like to thank you again for supporting us and speaking your mind, because that was the clip that Dr. Amos Wilson was talking about, was being able to be critiqued. Not that she was critiquing us per se, but in a sense, it was like, this is a good platform. You guys are onto something, but you need to have other people. Can you imagine if Shirley and I would have responded? If you don't like our podcast, get your own podcast, Esther. That is not what we are about. So Fatu is going to give us a closing out of her opinion of why that's not good. But also, you have your own school. It's not, accredited by the Board of Cosmetology. It's not, it's just not, you didn't go, you
Here
didn't go
we go.
over to Italy and try to let them rubber stamp. You said, no, I'm gonna stay right here in the Gambia. I'm going to open this school for these young people to get them off the street. And I'm sure people were saying to you, what makes you think you can open a practical university? You
Mhm.
call your school an academy?
Mhm.
So, what do you say to people who, kind of said you don't have the authority? You're not a school owner, you're not a scholar, but you want to open up an academy. What gave you the heart to do that? And without permission, you just did that and say, now the government loves you. You've networked with us and collaborated. We were able to create the first cosmetology curriculum for the Gambian Senegal. So, what made you have the heart against all odds? Said, I'm going to open a school. I don't need your permission, per Dr. Naeem Akbar. I don't have to get your permission to think or be great. What gave you the heart to do that?
The passion I have for women, that's the first one. The passion that I have, the women must excel. Women must be leaders. Women must be able to sustain themselves, stand for themselves, and be empowered.
But a school, an academy,
Yes.
that
I
takes a
don't want to
lot,
see any
Fatu.
woman left behind. I feel that that's what I say every time. If I wanted to get young people off the streets, women start first. If they're getting off the streets, then we have better moms. We have moms that are having. If you like, now I'm opening a daycare at the new center, right? We're going to open our daycare on the 7th of April because we wanted women who thought that they've lost it, have kids at a young age, didn't want to do anything. We said, come back to school. We'll hold your baby and you can go to school. After school, you can take your baby. If we do that,
Love it.
then
Love
we're
it.
giving them the right to empower their kids as well.
Love it. Love
Because
it.
if
Love
they have quality education
I
and
got you,
finish,
girl.
now they can now look back to their kids and give them quality education, and they will not be in the streets. So those kids will be valuable kids in society because their moms have been supported to empower them.
it. Oh,
So
Well,
this
now,
is
but
the
hold
reason
on
why I
now,
do that.
Fatu. Wait a minute. Let me
at
interrupt you,
least
Fatu. But Vidal Sassoon isn't doing that. Tony and Guy isn't doing that. Yale does not allow that. I mean, Harvard, oh my God, Cleveland State University, we don't allow that. That's so, it's so ethnic. It's so cultured. Oh, what do
and
you
I
think?
will say this. And I will say this. I believe
Mhm.
because I have a mission, a personal mission, to create 100 21st century wealth generation and heirs, and that is how to get there. Is to have the
Okay.
children and the mother and the adults
Mhm.
learning in the same environment.
So
Yes.
I love it.
Thank
you
you.
love it, but the world says that is not Reeve Goosh. It's not, it's
Hmm.
not quaint.
Empowerment starts from the root. It doesn't just start from top. It's a bottom down or bottom up
She
approach.
ate it up.
Yeah. So it's a bottom up approach. So we're starting from the bottom
Don't
and
go
going up.
for two.
You know.
She said it
I'm
starts from the
loving
root,
this.
baby.
Yes, I'm really loving it today. I think that's it. If you need to support someone, like I said, hold the hand from the roots and bring it up. That is where he sees it and feels it and also turn it back to somebody else. That is where the sustainability I'm talking about comes in. If you do anything without sustainability, you're not doing anything at all. Sustainability is up and it must come. We have to believe in ourselves, believe in what we do, and then let the passion be very real. If the passion is there, everything can be achieved. I believed in that.
It's funny that you would say that because in that video or one of Naeem
Mm,
Akbar's talks, his lectures, he talks about if you're not going to do anything bigger than the Sphinx, if you're not going to do anything, bigger than seeing the stars and all this, then get out the way. You have to be bigger and do more and do better than the people before you. But per
mm,
Dr. Amos Wilson, African Americans really have a problem with someone coming onto their platforms telling them, you guys have a great platform, but it would be greater. It would be the greatest if you would include other schools of thought. And so
mm,
you are going against what we would consider in the Western world against the grain to open a learning institution, and you're not doing it with the approval, or you're not mimicking, or you don't have like a knockoff, Vidal Sassoon or a knockoff Harvard. You're going to do it your way. And
We're
mm,
so,
solving problem. You solved the problem. Okay,
mhm,
you can't go to school. We're not going to talk about you not going to school. We're going to make
mhm.
a way for you to actually do it. And Mr.
Exactly.
Merle used to,
dang,
and Mr. Merle used to always say,
Mm,
stop trying to not how not to do it. Stop focusing on how not to do it. Well, we
mhm,
can't do this. We can't do that. Well, guess what? I need you to focus on how to do it. And Mr.
come
Merle
on.
and Mr. Merle
mhm,
said that's one of the reasons why he do not share most of his
mhm.
damn ideas, because he don't
Yeah.
want to hear his own people talking about well, how not to do it. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
And so that part. Thank you.
mhm.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Valencia. Thank you
Thank,
so much.
thank.
So, Fatu, you feel comfortable charging ahead with the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy. Talk to us as we wrap this up about how many schools do you have, and give them a little bit more insight into the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy, because this is Gambia's premier learning Academy. Thank you, Cheryl. I keep trying to say, I don't want to say institution. And so we are going to be going there. We got our little, where's our little poster at? Hold on, Juju. Juju, we have five delegates that are going to be traveling to the Gambia. Fatou says more should come, more should come. So we are going to be going to the Gambia. This one again is the Textures Intercultural Exchange 2025. And this is a humanitarian and development educational endeavor for cosmetology and the other disciplines. So we'll be there for about 10 days to do exactly what we're talking about here today, which is the worldwide agenda for women and cosmetology. And so Fatou is gonna, she does a wonderful job at setting an agenda for us, but people need to know a little bit more about what would make Ladosha, Julanda, Terry Ali, Rashida Ali, and Monica Smith. Those are the official delegates. And Fatou says, if you're interested, email us at afrohairscience@gmail.com. Only serious inquiries, because this is serious business. So tell them a little bit more about the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy and why you think our trip to come there again is important for your own agenda.
Gambia is home.
I love Fatou.
Gambia is home for you guys, right? And
What
this
do
one
you
is
mean by
gonna be
that?
a
What do you mean
different
get? You
experience.
know,
Yes.
Americans be like, no, I am not African. I don't know where I
Yeah.
came from.
You've got the feeling the last time, you have to tell them. Gambia is home, and this time round, we're going to take you down to the roots. We're going to go everywhere. We're going to even go to Senegal, to go to Gore, to see the Gore Island and see how slavery starts and what happened, and how we Africans develop America, and how you African Americans belong to the Gambia, and you coming back home. Right? Gaye Njorro Skills Academy, yes. We are a skill center that is accredited and licensed by the government, the National Training Authority of Quality Assurance of the Gambia. We've been licensed to train in 6 different fields. That's tailoring, cosmetology, um, fashion and design, event planning, arts and craft,
Gotcha.
hospitality management, which is catering. So we licensed to do those trainings. We have 4 centers now in the Gambia, 2 in the rural and 2 in the urban, because we do not want the young people in the rural to leave their communities and migrate all the time. They have to stay in their communities and develop their communities. And now I've seen that they can, because we have trained over 3,000 young people in the rural and 4,700 young people in the urban. So we have made it to train over 6,700 young people within our communities, and that is just across the country. And it's been recognized internationally. Government is really supporting our quest in doing this, decentralizing skills, supporting young people, empowering them, creating a safe environment, crime-free environment. We said that skills training is the solution of the young people of the Gambia. Because we believe that when they have skills, they will not think about crimes, they will not think about anything else, but all what comes into their mind is how to innovate, how to add value, and how to have a competitive edge. So we're giving them skills. We're hopeful that we're having a safer nation. We're building a nation economically, adding to national development, and being champions in youth empowerment. So this is why I've been supported by the government to come to the CSW to learn more and bring back and be able to empower more young people. And I believe with this quest, we can do it together. And Sharon, I'm still giving you a space to come to the Gambia, and you must come. Right? For
I
you,
like
I'm
it.
taking no. I'm really taking no.
I
October
like
is not
the
now. Try to
like the
push
way you put
all
that in there.
activities aside and then be part of the delegates. Honestly, I need you here.
Okay, be part of the
Okay?
look at Juju. Juju's in the chat like yes, 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 yes.
Yes.
This is definitely a wonderful endeavor. But Juju and Cheryl,
And
let me
let
see
them
something
come
a lot.
and see the class that is dedicated to Ladosa Wright and the great people of the United
They don't
States
want to
that
hear
have
that
done
part
so
now.
much in the
Now,
cosmetology industry. You have to come and see the class that's dedicated to your dad, Sarol. You have to be here.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay,
yeah,
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah. You know,
I'm not
Fatu
taking no
assistant.
for an
I was
answer, please.
I know. I told Fatu, stop doing all that. Like, you shut up, Ladosha. No, but you stop that, Ladosha. But let me just say this before we wrap this up. Doesn't she sound a lot like Booker T. Washington? Wasn't his thing about skills, for the Tuskegee? So it's funny. It's not. It's I'm saying it, but I don't mean it like it's funny. But the slave trade really thought those people who thought that they were dividing us. As you guys can see, they failed miserably. Miserably. So we're gonna do. I'm gonna put your post up here, Valicia. A center of greatness. And I think that's a wonderful, wonderful way to close us out. That this is a center for greatness. Yate says she found her maternal roots. Let me just put that up right here. This is important that we put some of this out here. Her maternal roots started in Guinea Basso, the Fula of Fulani people. And I'm telling you guys, yeah, I had that. I had that narrative too. Like, I don't know where I come from, Africa, blah 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 blah. But you're African. Trust me. By the time Fatu and them get finished with you, you will be eating and Jerry Jeffin and all that other good stuff. They got us together. So Fatu, we love you very very much. And please continue to do wonderful work until Jolanda, Ladosha, Monica, Terry, and Rashida. And we're going to say maybe Cheryl can get there. But continue to do wonderful work. And you are just making us so proud. And I just want to let you guys know that Jolanda and all of us, we are going to be doing fundraisers to go to the Gambia. Again, we do have a library there. It's called the Library of the Gaye Njorro Skills Academy. It is in dire need of new computers. And so if you have a computer, a laptop preferably, that you would like to donate, please let us know so we can put them on our bags and take them on the plane with us, so we can have some new computers for the library. And then also we do have the classroom. This is our wall of honor. Again, we have Fatou Saine Gaye starting over there to your left. And then right there in the center, we have George Washington Carver. Then there's Key Lolo. There's Annie Turbo Malone. And then the illustrious. The only reason why I know I'm existing in my career is these last two people here. And that is Cheryl's dad, Dr. Willie Morrow. And then Olive Benson. And so we need to reach out to Olive Benson's family, by the way, Cheryl, and see if we can get them, because they probably like, who was this girl on here just copying off my mama? So we're going to reach out and see if we can find Olive Benson's family so that she can know that her legacy is being carried out, at least by me and Cheryl. Me, Cheryl, and Fatu. All right. I think that's it. Cheryl, anything you want to say to Fatu before we get ready? We'll be back here next Thursday. We have a mystery guest. We're still waiting for people to confirm. Oh, by the way, Fatu, I didn't know that. But she said, love you, Ramadan Mubarak, and blessings to you.
Oh, same to her. Thank you so much.
Okay, all right. And thank you too. We appreciate you too, Yate. So sure, you want to close us out with a wonderful message to Fatu about attending the GSW. I'm sorry, is that what it's called? The CSW and the Worldwide Agenda for Women, because that's a bold task. You know, I'll be cussing everybody out.
And next time, Fatu, make sure that, and maybe it was our responsibility to make sure that the Brooklyn, Harlem, Queens, and Staten Island had a delegation for you. So we apologize for missing that boat, but I will say that we are ever so committed to the Academy, and thank you for traveling all this way, for representing the African nation of women and bringing a delegate, because that's not an easy flight. That is, you were there because, you took a picture of it. As my dad would say, it didn't happen if you didn't take a picture of it. And I appreciate all of your traveling and hard work, packing up to make sure that we were represented. So you can get the message, download it, and pass it on. And once again, and share it with us. So thank you for that.
All right. Thank you so much, Fatou. Was there any last thing you want to say, Fatou, before we sign off?
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk to you guys today. It's been a pleasure being here. You know, I miss you all, love you all, and hope to see you soon. Yes.
All right. We love you. We love you. We love you. We love you. And as we close out, here's that. When she said making that travel, Fatou been traveling back and forth over here. And she said we got to have a picture. There's proof. That's how Fatou and I met. I asked her to come to America and stop this nonsense about there should be no education for natural hairstylists. And so here we are in the state of Ohio, and there's Fatou giving the State Board of Cosmetology an earful to debunk the myth that hair braiding is just a cultural practice that doesn't require education. All right, Fatou, thank you so very much. Yeah, so thank you so very much. You guys, we'll see you back on Monday. And of course, we'll be back here on Thursday with our mystery guest. And we appreciate each and every last one of you. And you know what we say when we're signing out, right? We say good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. And I'm going to play that Naeem Akbar one more time in case y'all wonder, do we need permission? All right. All right. Y'all have a wonderful night. Check him out, Dr. Naeem.
All right.
Akbar.
Good night.
Here you go. Good night.
Bye.
I mean, they couldn't grasp. They didn't understand that. When we began to put together, when Dr. Ben began to suggest to us again, as George G.M. James and many others had already suggested, that in fact the world's history began in the Nile Valley, and the Nile Valley is in Africa, and it was developed by African people. They weren't ready for that. So what did we have to do? Dr. Ben began to Xerox and mimeograph his own books and staple them together. Francis Wilson began to put together a little pamphlet, but distribute that around. I began to put together these little books and spread those around. We began to say, look, I don't have to get your permission to
Welcome to Planet Pluto.